Hi, I'm Jill from jamjarjill.com, and this is me carry on tracking my reflux and digestional health journey in collaboration with iQoro, who offer a exercise device which can help you with reflux and getting off PPIs, getting off medication by strengthening the muscles in your esophagus and the sphincter muscle at the top of your stomach through daily exercises for 90 seconds a day. So I wanted to record an update to try and tell you all the different things which have been going on since my last one, which is actually quite a lot of different things. The last update which I did, I recorded a week before my endoscopy, which was back in February, before February half term, I think it was. And a couple of things on that. So as I say, it was a real anxiety trigger for me, the thought of having a medical procedure like that. But there was a couple of things which really helped me. So I thought I'd share that. Number one, the staff, when I rang up and told them I was nervous, they were really supportive on the reception desk and really understood anxiety. So if anyone else is going through that, then I would definitely recommend being upfront and calling up the department and asking to speak to the staff beforehand to try and highlight that anxiety is an issue for you. Then before the appointment, you're not allowed to eat or drink anything. I managed to get my husband to take the morning off so he could take me. I also opted for the full sedation option, which was really helpful, but I was quite nervous about getting that done too. A friend who also suffers with anxiety suggested I took my headphones with me to play some calming music whilst I was getting the catheter put in my arm. And I have to say, because that's something that I really struggle with, it really helped me to have some calming music in my ears whilst that was going on. I wasn't allowed to have headphones on during the procedure itself, but what I also brought with me was my eye mask. Now, I sleep in an eye mask every night, and I do find it really soothing and calming for me. So I wore the eye mask during the procedure, and that really helped me just zone out, even though I was getting sedated anyway. But when I first walked into the room where the endoscopy was happening, there was two big screens each side of the bed which were going to show what was going on inside. And to be honest, for me, I didn't really want to see that. I just wanted them to do that bit and then kind of tell me afterwards. So that really helped me too. But the long and the short of it is that they didn't find anything sinister, which was a huge blessing in a lot of ways, of course. And I'm grateful for that. But unfortunately then, and am still now, and we're now the last day of April, symptomatic. And the letter I then got through from the department was no further tests required. It is categorised as behavioural/lifestyle. Now, to me, I don't think they've taken things like hormones into account, and I think there's still a lot of stuff going on which I haven't quite got to the bottom of, which is frustrating, because I do feel like once you get the physical sign off, you do get dropped by the system a little bit. I have asked to have a dietitian referral, but I don't know how long that's going to take. And after mulling it over for about a week after that, I decided to reach out to my friend and connection, Sarah Root, who I had interviewed on the podcast, and she is a hormone-informed nutritionist. Because when I asked the doctor if the dietitian was going to be hormone-informed, he couldn't tell me, or whether perimenopause was a factor. I was literally told that he didn't think I should be worrying about that yet, which I found quite dismissive. So I just thought, right, I'm going to take matters into my own hands here. And I couldn't recommend Sarah enough, to be honest. She's amazing, so supportive, so thorough, and basically filled out a 19-page questionnaire to really talk about all my background health, literally from childhood, before we then had a consultation, and then she came up with a dietary plan. And I've been sticking to that ever since. There's various different things, and obviously it's a case that, and I will link the episode with all her links below so you can learn more about her as well. But it is the case that obviously whatever you're going through, it's personal to you, and you need a personal plan dedicated to you. But I just wanted to tell you the things which I've been implementing, which has helped. And I do continue to do the iQoro exercises 3 times a day, every day. And I'm going to keep consistent with that going forward, because it's strengthening those muscles. End of the day, it's non-medical, and it could help support as part of the picture, is the way I see it. And it could take up to 6 months to see full results from that. And I'm now sort of 5 months in. So it's a case of I'm just going to try all the non-pharmaceutical things that I can to keep supporting myself. But you kind of reviewed all the supplements and things I was taking, and basically just cut it down to the basics which I should be taking. And I've also introduced 2 additional ones which I found really helpful. So this slippery elm complex I've been taking before lunch and before dinner each day, and basically it coats your esophagus, and I do find that it has definitely reduced symptoms to the point where I have been able to reduce my PPIs down to 1 a day. So that feels like a real positive step in the right direction. Then another thing she's asked me to do is eat bitter leaves before each meal, so rocket or watercress or something like that, which I don't much like the taste of, but I'm doing it because apparently it basically kicks your digestion in and just helps your body to digest things a bit better. And then this is another one which she recommended, which is sunflower lecithin, which it's got a bit of a nutty taste to it, but I've, after a bit playing around and working out how to take it, because it's a powder, but it doesn't really mix into a smoothie particularly well. I don't blend smoothies anyway. I don't really drink smoothies that much anyway. But I've found that if I put it on toast or inside of a pancake, inside the batter, then I can hide it in there, and that seems to work quite well for me. So I'm taking that every day with breakfast. And I've also added a source of protein to my breakfast to balance my hormones, which apparently is really important. And because I didn't really want to add a meat or a fish to breakfast, I've opted for a handful of nuts. So it's all these little steps, little things, and I'm still mindfully tracking everything in and everything out and all the symptoms. So the journey continues. I just end up thinking that this whole thing is just a marathon, not a sprint, but it's just working out what's more of a trigger, what's less of a trigger, and I'm still on that journey. And I think it's a multifaceted journey, and it's supporting your nervous system is really key. And so I meditate every day, I do yoga every day, I try and listen to my body when my body needs to rest. But I am also now looking at going to get my hormones checked out by a female health professional as well, because I'm quite convinced that that is part of the picture. Still on the waiting list since February time for this dietitian. Goodness knows how long that will take too. Still on the waiting list since last summer for endometriosis testing as well, so don't know if that's part of the picture. So lots of different things going on, but that's kind of my update for this month. And rather than committing to doing a updated specific time slot in the future, I'm just going to see how things go, and when I feel like I've seen more of a change, then I'll come back and I'll give you an update again. But that's where I'm at now. I'd love to hear where you are with your journey, if you're dealing with similar things. Hopefully that's helpful, and please do check out the episode with Sarah because she is incredible and she offers online consultations as well. So I think she's a really good person to have in your back pocket for if you're dealing with anything hormone and food related, really. She's an excellent person to get in touch with. Okie doke, I'll leave it there for now and I'll speak to you another time. Take good care, everyone.